But enough with all that, man. We talking about the Dallas Cowboys, man. What are we gonna do this season? What are those guys gonna do, man? Dak Prescott, man, got some firepower over there on the offense. Running game is looking slack. You got
Mm.
some issues on the offensive line. Defense still intact.
Mhm.
I just want to know, man. I want to know from the source what the hell is the Dallas Cowboys gonna do to freaking get rid of that freaking horrible loss that they had to the Green Bay Packers, man, because that was abysmal. What is y'all gonna do this season, man? What y'all gonna do different, man? Tell me, talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, we ain't gonna do a goddamn thing different because the Cowboys are going to cowboy, all right? We got Ezekiel Elliot back. I didn't want him to leave to begin with, but he is not how he was in college. He's fucking fallen off, clearly. Obviously, that's why we got rid of him in the first place. Don't know why they brought him back, but I'm glad he's back.
Because you have nobody else.
Yeah, we got
They
Deuce
need each
Vaughn.
other.
Deuce Vaughn, who's like 5'7". What the fuck's he's not gonna be able to do shit.
Mm-mm.
He might be faster. If he can get on the outside, he might be able to outrun some linebackers or whatever, but those motherfuckers catch him, the safeties catch him. He's a little guy. I mean, he might get hurt. Hope to God he doesn't, but he might get hurt. And they gotta worry about paying CD. CD is it gonna he doesn't want to play without a new contract. Dak,
Hell no.
he's up for a contract. I think he's in the mind space of where, I had a great year last year. I'm gonna ball out again, and I'm gonna get even more money than what, he's gonna set an all-time record. He's asking for like $60 million a year or some shit like that.
He's already
That's
paying getting
crazy.
paid like 50 million a year
Yeah,
against the cap.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And they
exactly.
and they got to pay Micah.
Yeah,
Still got to pay Parsons.
exactly what I
Mm-hmm.
was getting ready to say. And Micah, he's still got what, another year or two left on his rookie deal. He's
Yeah.
he's he's wanting to get paid. So I don't know exactly what the fuck they're going to do because they're going to have to pay all of them somehow,
Mm-hmm.
or I think they should take care of CD because he's the one whose rookie deal is pretty much up, and he wants his money or whatever. Go ahead and give it to him. Hey Dak, play well again this year. I'll give you 70 million fucking dollars. You take us to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. I'll give you $100 million a year.
Get
Oh,
anything you
fuck
want.
What
man.
1 year for 100 million? Whatever. Fuck it.
Mm.
That's what Jerry Jones would do because he would do anything for a Super Bowl. After that, Micah, you did your thing. Well, after that 1 year paying Dak 100 some million or whatever it is, Micah's up. Hey, Dak, if you don't want to stay for less money, fuck on. We got our Super Bowl. I could die now. Whatever. Micah, you're up next.
One question for you, West V. Who is more important to that Cowboys team? Is it Micah Parsons or is it Dak Prescott?
That is a good question.
No way.
I think it's Dak Prescott. I think he's more important just because quarterback is the most important position in the league. He handles the ball every single play, whether it's a handoff or a pass. Micah, last year he started off great, then he kind of disappeared because he was getting doubled and triple teamed.
Mm-hmm.
He's no Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald don't give a fuck if you send 7 people at him. He's going to get to the
Right.
quarterback. He can get to the quarterback. Might not be every time, but majority of the time he's going to get there. I don't think Micah Parsons is quite there yet. Not saying that he can't get on that level or close to it, but being this is what his fourth year, I don't think that he's there yet. So if I had to choose between the two, as paying first, I would pay Dak Prescott first.
If I had to pay one of them two first right now, I would pay Micah first, just from the simple standpoint of that you've already paid Dak, a couple times and whatnot. Micah Parsons is an absolute top of his game at what he does. He's one of the best in the league. He's elite until you get to the playoffs. He plays elite all year long, and then the playoffs, go look at his regular stats compared to his playoff stats. When the playoffs come, he disappears just like the rest of the Cowboys
That's what
defense.
I was talking about. Yeah.
And that's a no-go, but nonetheless, you got to pay him. He's important part of your franchise. But however, I do think Dak Prescott right now is more important
Hmm.
because take Dak away from the Cowboys. I don't. They're probably not even a
You
playoff
have
team.
nothing.
Not a playoff team. Take Micah away, they can still get in the playoffs somehow, some way. They can figure it out.
Right.
Last year, they go 12-5, go second in your division, and lose 48-32 to the Packers. terrible, terrible
Yeah, but what was the
outing
reason why?
performance
But what was the reason why that happened? Was
because
it
your
because Dak
defense.
Prescott? No, I thought it was Dak Prescott. Didn't he have a bunch of turnovers?
He did, but I mean, look, when you
Yeah, I
when
know
you
your defense can't. If your defense
when
can't
your
stop their
defense can't
offense,
stop
yeah,
grass from growing, bro,
I
that
get.
it's not at that point you trying to make something, bro. You down 14-21, bro's gonna be throwing. You got to try to make something happen. Again, I don't absolve him for everything, but
Right.
again, you got to stop and think of the game scenario. You're down, you're gonna have to pass. He
Mhm.
threw for over 400 yards in that game, and dude, he could have threw for 400 yards, four
And still wouldn't have
touchdowns,
made a
no
difference.
picks, and they could have lost, and it was still been his fault. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not saying you're a Cowboys fan that interprets that, but that is the common
No, 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 no.
amongst Cowboys fans.
Yep.
Everything's Dak's fault.
Yep.
It was like it was 100. It felt like 100 degrees here today. I'm pretty sure Prescott had something to do with it. I'm gonna look into it. But nonetheless, look, you lost a lot on offense here. I think you got 3 new offensive linemen starting this year. You lost,
Mhm.
your tackle Smith. I
Your
mean,
big
so
man,
important.
right?
And 3 new offensive linemen coming in, all sorts of questions at running back, like you reiterated with Zeke Elliott coming back. I think Zeke will actually do decent this year.
I think he will too.
He might sneak up. I think he can rush for 1,000 this year. I really do.
It'll be a quiet 1,000.
As usual,
Yeah.
when he does. But yeah, I think that's a deal that's good because both sides need each other. So
Mhm.
that's good. But what you have to do on offense, man, is you have to include Brandon Cooks more, man. Last year, he only had 81 fucking targets, 81 targets on the year for Brandon Cooks, man. You'd have certain games where CeeDee Lamb had like 17, 15. Come on now. I understand CeeDee's got to get his. He's that guy. He's that dude. But Brandon Cooks is no scrub, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
having
he
times.
catches lightning.
How many 1,000-yard seasons did he have with Houston when they
Every
had
season.
nobody?
Every season. Every
And he
season.
went to the
Right.
Saints and all that. I mean, this dude can give you production if you give him chances. Still,
Right.
with 81 total targets last year, he had 8 touchdowns. I mean, he will make it do when you give him an opportunity. It's not like he missed time. He played in 16 of the 17 games
Yeah.
in the playoff game. So it's like you got to get him more facilitated into your offense, man. I mean, you got to.
100% agree. They should have done that. They should have done that last year as well. I don't know why they didn't. I guess they're too busy trying to feed CD all the fucking passes and shit.
Period. And then, your defensive side of the ball looks pretty good on paper, except for the linebackers. Because on linebackers, you got Eric Kendricks. He's a nice addition to the defense.
Yeah, but he's a little older.
He washed.
I don't think he's washed, but he'll still be better than like the average guy that you had in there. Anybody they're gonna pair him with a guy who was a backup.
Right.
He was
Vander
a backup
Esch
last year. No, Vander Esch is
all them
retired.
gone.
Smith
They're
has
gone.
been gone. Yeah,
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 right.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Right.
Those guys that they used to have.
Yeah,
Used to have.
but now they got a rookie in there, and they had a backup in there from last year. So it's just unknown. You're kind of weak. Safeties, you're good. Corners, you're good. Your defensive line is good. You got depth. Your defense will be fine. Just linebackers. Couple
Our
questions.
linebackers for the past 4 or 5 years, maybe the linebackers they can't fucking. It's the run defense. They can't fucking stop anybody.
So as far as the expectations go, what are we expecting from the Cowboys this year? How are they gonna finish? I'll kick it off before I let you guys go real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I expect the Cowboys to do pretty much essentially what they did last year. I don't think they're gonna win the division. I think it's gonna be Philly. I think they'll get into the playoffs again, just like last year as a wild card. But you look at your division and the division got better, man, except for the Giants.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they got a good receiver. They got a couple young people. Give it a couple years, but Daniel Jones there, no Barkley. As a mistake, Giants are going to be terrible. They're going to be the worst team in that division this year. Washington's going to be better. They got better, and obviously Philly got better. So, but the thing I'm looking at here is your fucking schedule, dude. Dallas has only got 2 games out of the 17 that's against lower tier teams, outside of playing the Giants in their division. But look, bro, listen. Week 1 at Cleveland.
Yep.
Week 2 versus New Orleans, and that's one of the weaker games I said. But dude, the rest of these games versus Baltimore, Giants division game. You go at Pittsburgh, you play Detroit, you go at San Francisco, you go at Atlanta. Atlanta's going to be tougher this year.
Philly,
of course, Philly again division. Houston, you got
Mhm.
Washington division, Giants division. You play Cincinnati and at Carolina. That's the other week game that I was talking about. Then you
Yep.
play the Bucks. Then you play Philly. and then you play Washington again. So this schedule, bro, they gonna have to play, man.
This is
So
a
as far
tough
as
schedule.
expectations go, it's kind of brutal. So
Yeah.
like I said, again, I could see them going along the lines of 11-6,
100%.
11-6, somewhere around them lines.
Exactly.
Man.
Maybe.
That's
tough.
exact.
Maybe.
10-7, 11-6. That's exactly where I was going to say.
Hey, this is the thing though, that y'all gonna have issues with that running game. Y'all talking about Zeke gonna have a quiet 1,000, man. Zeke is gonna have 615 yards, just like he did last year with the Patriots. Bro. He is
No,
not,
man. They got
man.
more
He
than
gonna
that.
he gonna get stuck back there. They're gonna have to find somebody else or whatever to take up that slack, bro. That he needs a number 2. Actually, he needs to be the number 2, but they need to get somebody in there or whatever to carry the load with Zeke. And I think the perfect person who they said they was going to do last year, whatever, who was supposed to take some of those carries, bro, by himself was Dak Prescott. They say Dak Prescott is going to be more of a mobile quarterback than he ever was before. They seen so many openings that he could have got 5 yards, 6 yards and slide because it's freaking open, bro. But he still sits back there or whatever and try to scan everything or whatever, bro. But I'm just saying, he's open enough, his holes open enough for him to have that in his mental that he can make a couple of yardage plays or whatever. So he doesn't have to be in the 2nd and longs and the 3rd and 7s and the 3rd and 8s. Now you gotta pass. You feel me? Your running game is not going to scare anybody. Ezekiel is not going to get 8 yards on the 3rd and 8. You can put dime or nickel defense on that stuff pretty much every time, bro, because you know he's not going to be that guy to get that stuff.
No question.
You gotta figure that stuff or whatever to have shorter yardage on those later downs.
No, I mean that's a good point. But here's my thing about this: as far as him running, yeah, there was opportunities where like, yeah, man, you could have definitely scrambled for that first down. That dude, that's a $50 million quarterback, and he's coming off a season where he just got hurt, had the worst season in his life. I don't want you running shit. I don't care what you telling me. Don't fucking run. Don't run. You about to get hit. Go down like a bitch. I don't care. That's a $50 million quarterback. He gets hurt, we're done. But I will admit that you do have a good point from the standpoint. It's going to be harder to run the ball because, like I said, you have 3 new offensive linemen. I think 2 of them are rookies. So, I mean, it's going to take them time to adapt, adjust. But last year, Tony Pollard, I don't think, can we all agree that he didn't have a very good year last year, did he, Tony Pollard?
What, he had like 2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown?
But he rushed for a quiet 1,000 damn near. He had like 990 some yards. That's what I'm saying. Zeke could do that, man. He could it don't take much. It takes like 58 yards per game average with 17 games, bro. That's not asking nothing. That's not asking nothing, essentially.
That's a lot from Zeke.
I mean, it's a but the over under on that shit on FanDuel should be like 900, like for real. I'd put it like 900. I think he can do it.
I would go to under. I would go to under.
900.
Some of those games, he's going to be hurt. He's not going to be no pounder. He's not a brutal runner like that anymore. This is not first year, second year Ezekiel Elliott, man.
No question.
Seventh year, 29, 30-year-old Ezekiel Elliott, who's already got his money. He's doing this, whatever. This is his retirement tour, bro, like John Cena. This is exactly what he's doing, man. This is it. The last time is now.
Bottom line it, Sam. Bottom line it. Cowboys season predictions for you. So me and Wes, we're both going 11-6, Wes?
11-6, 10-7, somewhere around there.
I'll say 11-6. And they come in second. They don't win their division.
I'm going 8-9.
What?
I think the running game is going to be so detrimental.
Dang.
8-9.
The running game is going to be so detrimental. Ooh. And you got and Washington, man, if real, is going to turn the tables on their season and on their franchise. 8
losing season,
bro. Like you said, they played Detroit, they played Baltimore, they played Cleveland, they played San Francisco. Man, all these teams, bro. Come on, they played Philly twice, man. Man, you crazy? You think they're just gonna run through these guys or whatever like they nothing? Man, please. That's not gonna work like that, man. 8-9, and then Dak's gonna be gone, and they're gonna have to figure out something else. That's my predictions. That's my Dallas predictions.
Sam, you are one bold son of a bitch, my friend.
8-9, 8-9, bro. Best case scenario, 8-9. And we can drink to that.
Drink that.